Hi there, welcome to my channel. Okay, so I thought I would talk with you guys about the DJI Neo because I was looking for a lot of information about it before I bought it, and I found a lot of information about it. But I do a lot of real estate work, and that was exactly the application that I purchased it for. And the reason was mainly because of the size. It was so small that I thought, oh, this will be perfect to get through doorways, to get details, like kitchen details, cabinetry, hardware. It'll be easy to fly it around a house, even if it's a small house. Maybe it'll work. And then it had those built-in prop guards, and it just looked like a very sturdy plastic that could handle falling, running into a wall and then falling on the ground, which I did at this house. And it held up, and it didn't have a mark, not a scratch, nothing broken. It can take a licking and keep on ticking, as they say. So I made a little pros and cons list just to go over a few important things with y'all. So you know, if you buy this little guy, okay, pros, size, we kind of already talked about that. It's pretty small. You know, maybe it's 6 inches by 5 inches. It's small. And you can't even really detect it if it flies past a mirror or something that catches its reflection. The lens is pretty wide on it. I would have liked it to be a little wider. It would have been more useful if it were just a little bit wider, but it is wider than the Mini 4 Pro. And it isn't so wide that it distorts lines. But it could have been a little wider, like maybe the photography lens equivalent, maybe it's like 16 millimeters, whereas kind of 14 millimeters is really a sweet spot on lenses. Let's see, pros, prop guards, hard plastic body, the lens is pretty wide, and it's small. Those are my pros. So cons, something you probably see in this video is the exposure. Really tricky time with exposure. If you set it on just the auto exposure, you might get some pretty weird shadows. Even some of these like shadow bands. Maybe you saw it in the video. Very frustrating just to see this band of shadow kind of digitally rolling over the screen. And once I took it off of the auto exposure settings, and went straight to manual and chose my own ISO and chose my own shutter speed, those shadow bands and just that kind of gamut, like digital kind of look kind of was eliminated. Another thing about that digital look to the imagery is also there's this auto sharpening feature in the camera settings on this little drone, and it defaults to sharpen this content, and it's pretty noisy. So I took it down to a -2. I think it defaulted to 0, and I took it down to -2. And that really helped getting rid of some of the noise. So yeah, it's not the best camera. Let's see, what other cons? This little guy cannot handle any kind of wind. And I don't mean just outside wind, I mean a ceiling fan can knock this little guy or just make it wobble. And so your flight and your video, it looks wobbly and it's not steady. And so you want to make sure and turn off all ceiling fans if you are gonna drone a house like I did. Let's see, cons: cannot handle wind, not even a ceiling fan. Lens could be a little wider. Auto exposure is bad. For all the exterior shots on this video, you'll see some at the beginning and you'll see some at the end. I used the Mini 4 Pro for the exterior flights and video. And it's because that little drone, that Mini 4 Pro, it can handle wind. It can handle quite a bit of wind. It's a strong little drone. And you'll get steady feedback. And I tried to do it with the Neo, and it was just wobbling and getting knocked around, and it was just flying at a diagonal. I mean, it really isn't a tough drone. So all the exterior images are done with the Mini 4 Pro. All of the interior images are done with the Neo. And I learned a lot. This is the first house I did with the Neo, and I'll definitely use it again. I learned a lot doing this house. It was a pretty substantially sized house, and you'll notice in that blue office I didn't have the ceiling. Look at that, like wobble. That's from a ceiling fan. These rooms of this house were such a struggle. Like, look at that overexposure. Terrible. So, I mean, the realtor, the customer was happy. She's going to put it on her MLS, and I didn't charge her anything for this actually, because it was, totally a learning experience for me. Yeah, it looks pretty good, even though I was using brand new equipment. She was happy, so that's the most important thing. Yeah, so I'm totally open to any feedback you might have. Feel free to ask me any questions, and happy flying. Okay, thanks.